Hey, it's Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're sewing the Valora bag by Mormino. I love this bag. I did test the pattern when it came out. The tester bag that I made, I carried for a long time. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. You have a removable crossbody strap that you don't have to do. It's optional. However, the connectors on the side just really add to the bag. I kind of can't imagine skipping it. You've got a slip pocket on the back. These adorable handles. There is a magnetic snap closure. Look how cute that is with the recessed zipper opening. And then on the inside, you have a zipper pocket and a slip pocket. This is the small size. There are two sizes. It's so cute. I didn't make any changes to the pattern. I don't think. You don't have to rivet here or here, but I like doing that. You could sew an X in here instead. Not much else to talk about with it. So again, this is the small, and if you're addicted to Starbucks cups, this is the big one. I can never remember the sizes, but it's a really nice size. You can still put a full size NCW in here. I used printed vinyl from Mormino and this gorgeous glitter also from Mormino. Lauren did send this to me to try. And it is part of the January release, so this vinyl will have released before this video comes out. But you can check out and see if maybe you can get it. There's silver and red too. I had the red and tested it too. Absolutely love it. Just used a waterproof canvas to line it. My hardware is all from Mormino, probably my zipper tape too. And then I used this really pretty, there you can see it, ombre thread. I think it's called Under the Sea. Yes, from Wizardry Stitchery. So I'll link everything everywhere in the comments. I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you make one. I feel like this bag does not get enough love. It is amazing. And you barely have to interface anything. If you use vinyl and waterproof canvas, all you have to interface is for your magnets and your bottom. And then my suggestion is, if you're not using a real thick vinyl, if it's something that you're kind of on the fence with, I would put some interfacing on your exterior pieces, just like a woven interfacing, or even just some reinforcement behind this area and your handles, just to strengthen it up. But I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much. Alright, so this is the sewing video for the Valora by Mormino. I already went through and made a center mark on my crossbody strap. I made center marks and added some tape to my crossbody strap connector pieces, and I also went through and marked the center and put some tape on my handles. I'm gonna do my purse feet, and the pattern piece has markings for them. Just want to make sure I had the right purse feet in here. I started using some rivet press purse feet. I've just kind of been testing them out to see how I like them, and I think I do. But these ones are the ones that are the other kind, the normal prong ones. I don't know why I said normal. Not like there's anything wrong with others. Alright, so in the cutting video too, I went over you should use like a Decaville Heavy or like a Peltex. I'm not a Decaville Heavy, so I just used 2 layers of Decaville Light. That's fine. So I just marked the spots, and then I'm going to use my seam ripper, cut some slits in here. And I'm just doing this first to get it out of the way. So they're on there. And it's ready to go. I am obsessed with this glitter vinyl. It's so pretty. I'm going to put the washers on and put the prongs to the side, and then I'm going to take some duct tape and cover it just to keep everything in place and so I don't scratch my hand when I turn the bag. Which this bag is easy to turn, but just in case. And you do want to try to keep this out of your seam allowance. It's no fun sewing through duct tape. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and work on my straps because we need to make our handles. You can put double-sided tape down the middle of your crossbody strap. I personally don't do it though because I always have an issue sewing through tape if it's like on a strap. Other times I really don't have problems, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip down one side and the other and then fold them together and clip it all up, and I'll speed this part up in the video. Alright, so there is the crossbody strap ready to go. It does take me a while to clip those, but it's worth it so that the stitches aren't messed up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sew this. You probably saw Donut jump up while I was making this. He just attacked the end of it. But ooh, alright, I'm using variegated thread. And if you can tell, oh, it's so good. It looks really good with this. Okay, need our slider and our 2 snap blocks. Slider goes on first. And I'm using a wide mouth slider. I think with the glitter vinyl especially, since it is a little bit sticky, the wide mouth slider is just so good. I would never use it with like webbing though. It would just slide. I sew like a little Z when I do straps usually. Alright. And then of course make sure that you're not twisted and you've got the right side. And then once again, that you have the right side. And stitch this one down. And then since this one shows, I'll just complete my like box that I sewed. Hopefully that makes sense. It's been a little while since I recorded a sewing tutorial instead of just going live, so I feel rusty. Alright, awesome. So crossbody strap complete. And then we've got our purse feet on the bottom. We're ready to work on the handles. All right. So I'm going to take off my tape backing. And I'm going to fold it into the line. And I'm going to repeat that on the other one. Okay, so the next thing you do is fold it in, and then you're going to mark 3 inches from the edge. I'm going to mark before I fold again. And you technically should use a marking tool that is going to erase, because this vinyl is the coating that's like on it. I know that my I can wipe my mark off of it. I'm not marking it very hard either. If you can hear that, that's just George drinking his water, being a good boy. Okay, so I'm going to fold these in half, and I'm going to clip. Repeat with the other one, and make sure you've got the raw edge inside. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to sew on the side that has like it's not a raw edge, but where you can see it. And you're going to start and stop at the marks, and you're going to make sure you backstitch. Very important. And then I'm just going to wipe the mark off. And if I need to, I can always use like a wet wipe or something and it'll come off. Oh, it did. And then you can unclip these. And repeat with the other one. And there's both my handles. Okay. The pattern piece has markings for where the handles are going to go. So let me see here. Probably do it this way. Okay. So it is best to use a removable marking tool. George, stop, dude. So sorry. I would line it up at the top, if anything. Okay. And then let's see if this wants to work too. Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm just going to mark out maybe. Pens have just been like not liking me lately. Oh, I can kind of see it. Oh dear. I can see it enough. It'll be easier to wipe off. I think it's because I never store my pens with the caps on. It's just revenge from the pen. Alright. I think I can see them just good enough. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the bottom of these. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to make sure... Hi, George. That these edges are as clean as they can be. Like, I don't know if you can tell a little is sticking out there. I'm going to trim that off. My cats ignore me until I record videos. They're not always so, like, in my face. Okay. So this part is going to show on the edge. So I just like making sure that it really looks clean. Because I didn't once. And I learned. Alright. So I'm going to put tape on these ends. And this will help hold it in place while we stitch them on. You don't want it to stick over the edge though, because it can get gross over time. Alright. I know you can't see my markings, so I apologize for that. But it's right here. So I'm going to take and line this up with it. Give it a good press down. And then you want to make sure that it's not twisted. Find your other marking. And then I'm just going to look at it and make sure it looks right because I had a hard time looking. Okay, so there's one. It's like the one side is good on both of them and the other really is not. So, alright. Having a good strong tape can really help right here for holding these in place. Alright, so now what we do is mark a 1.5 inch box. I forgot to mark last time and it didn't really look the greatest. Okay, so now we're going to sew a box. You can put an X through it, you could do a rivet. I did rivets last time and I did really like it, so I think I'm going to do that again. So let's see, I'll start at the bottom corner. So you can see I just stitched a box there. And I'm going to start in the same spot on all of them. Okay, and then I'm going to hopefully get my pen mark off. Okay, pen might not be the best, but that's okay. I'll get it off of there later. It's already been done. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that off. That's okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to rivet in each one of these boxes. Okay, so I added the rivets and then I got the pen marks off. Hand sanitizer was great. So now for these main panels, I just need to add, I think I'm gonna put it right here, my woven label. So I use just a tiny bit of tape to hold it in place, and a stitch length of 4 seems to be good for it. Okay, I'm just gonna eyeball this. I guess maybe I should line it up with the rivets. Looks good. Okay. I have been trying to pull my first thread through before I get to it. It's sometimes not really easy, but I think it makes it look better at the end. Oh, it's good. All right, and then you just knot these. And then I don't trim these super short, but just so there's not too much. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, so we got the handles on. We can do the crossbody connectors now. So you need your connector pieces, your 2D rings, and your side pocket pieces. All right. So again, I already marked down the center and had the tape on. So you're just pressing both sides to the middle. And then you can, it'd be like a personal preference if you wanted to top stitch this now, but we're going to be stitching it down to it, so I'm not going to yet. Alright, so in the pattern it has how tall you want the strap to be, depending on the size you're making. I'm making the small. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a measurement for where I want the folded end to come down. And this is just easier for me, the way I'm doing it. I'm going to cut a little piece, put it on the ends, put my D-ring in, and then fold that down to the mark I made. And then I'm going to take another piece. Like I said, sometimes I do use tape, sometimes I don't. And I'm going to put it on this so that I can keep them to stick down when we sew. Alright, so I'm going to find my center. And then I'm going to line this up with the bottom and make sure it's centered on both. You could tape all the way up too. And now we're going to sew all the way up as close as we can get to the D-ring and back down. And if you didn't tape it down the whole way, just make sure it's not shifting. You could backstitch right here too. And then you need a scrap for right here, so don't mess up my vinyl. This is another spot that I like to rivet on this bag, so I'll be putting a rivet right here, and that'll just hold all the layers together perfectly. Use my scrap again. Okay, so I'm going to put my rivets in real quick. I'm really sorry because something did not record. The slip pocket on the exterior did not record. So what it is you have an exterior slip pocket piece and a lining slip pocket piece. You take these two pieces and you put them right sides together, and then you sew at the top, turn it so that it's wrong sides together, top stitch here, and then put it on your exterior piece and baste it on. So that did not record, I'm very sorry, but at least it was something simple. And then I did put these magnets on here, just on the center of the upper lining. So then you should have snipped your centers for your upper and lower lining pieces. We are going to be putting our zipper pocket on one and our slip pocket on the other. Okay, these are side pockets. This is the bottom. Okay, this is our slip pocket. This is our zipper pocket. Okay, so I've got my zipper pulls, and then this. Okay, let's see here. Lining this, lining this. Okay, try to stay organized. I'm gonna put my pulls on here. Okay. And then it is a 6-inch zipper on the small. And then let's see here. This is our zipper panel. So that should be more than enough. And I'll just chuck my zipper. I'm bad. Okay, so we are going to make a box on this for a 6-inch zipper. Okay, so I'm just gonna go 3 inches out on each side. And that is my line. Okay, so we are going to set this. It says 1 inch down, but I like to just make up my pockets. You can follow the pattern for the dimensions if you want. I backstitch at the beginning and end of each line, and I do not do the short ends. I can't remember who I saw do it first, but I've been doing it and it works for me. But of course, if sewing the whole box works for you, please do it. Alright, snip almost to the end, then a diagonal to our corners. You can press this with some steam in your iron if you would like to do that. I usually just give a real good finger press and clip it in place for a little bit. And then I'm going to center my zipper. And I like to start sewing right here, and then I finish right there. I also use a 4 for my stitch length on zippers. Just a personal preference. My clips do get a little bit annoying in here, but that's okay. Sorry. You can use tape too if you would like to keep this all in place. I just kind of flatten as I go. I just don't like getting my iron out if I don't have to. And that's just me being real. Honestly. Okay. So now we're gonna sew this piece together. You do not have to leave an opening because you do not need it to birth this bag, I promise. Sorry. I don't know how to silence my iPad, apparently. I looked before I started the video. I thought I did. I am an Android person. Alright, so we've got our zipper pocket on here. And now we're going to do our slip pocket. Okay, so this gets folded under. And then top stitched. If you aren't using waterproof canvas for this, my suggestion would be to cut this piece twice as tall so that you can fold it in half and top stitch it. Okay, and now we're just going to baste this onto our lower lining panel, and then you could put a divider in here if you want, but I am not going to. All right, so we already have our magnet on. Now we are done with the pieces of the main lining, but we need to do our recessed zipper panel. So I'm having just words today. They're not going well. All right, so we're gonna put tape on these, and then we're gonna fold them in so that they're folded over a half of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 1 inch so that I'm folding them perfectly up. Okay. Grab my tape. And then I'm going to put it at the edge. And I've tried to keep them all together. I always end up, they don't come out perfect. It's a me problem. Oh, I forgot to cut them apart. It is easier to rip off that one piece of tape backing though. Alright. It's just easier to line it up if you mark the 1 inch spot. At least I think so. You might not. That's okay. I won't hold it against you. If you've never done a recessed zipper before, they kind of look scary at first. I know the first time I made one, I was like terrified of it. But I actually really like doing them now. Like, they're not bad. This is by far my favorite way to do them. I've done them a couple of different ways. I like doing it this way. Alright. So, we are going to fold our zipper tape in on itself and melt it together. I like to put a little clip on it too. Okay, and then I kind of have a hard time with the other side, so I usually flip it. Because you really want it to line up as much as possible. Looks pretty good. Okay, you can also sew this together right here so your zipper pull doesn't come off. Alrighty, so we're gonna put our zipper on, and then you could baste it, but I'm just gonna make a zipper sandwich with my lining and just go for it. And I have been kind of just lining my zipper teeth up with the very edge of where it's folded over as like a guide for myself, because you want to do it the same on both sides so that it lines up. And the zipper, the recessed zipper panel on this small bag is just so cute. It's so tiny. I love it. I actually tested this pattern for Lauren, and the one I made, it carried for a really long time. I carried it, I think, until I made something else that I was like, oh, I should carry this. That, or I like went on vacation and switched to a mini backpack for a little bit. Alright, make sure you backstitch the start and the stop. And then this is going to get folded open. On both sides. And this is another spot where I like to line everything up and clip it. Okay, and then we're going to stitch all the way around. It does get a little bit thick right here. And then we're going to repeat that to the other side. If you're using a print that the direction matters to you, be mindful how you line it up and everything. Another way to line up the zipper is just make sure you're lining this part up. I'm feeling good about this one. It should line up really well. I didn't fold my zipper tape the best, I guess, because there's a little like flap, but it's okay. It's on the underside, so shouldn't really matter. Alright, zipper panel is done. See, it's so cute. Alright, and then I'm going to snip the centers. Okay. Now we're going to take one of our lower lining panels. I'm going to do the one with the zipper, and you're going to lay this right sides up and match up your center markings. Okay. You could base this in place. I am not going to. So we've got right side up, wrong side down. And we're going to line up that center marking too. Which this one's easier to line up because the edges go to the edges. Okay. And then this gets a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then you're going to fold this upper part up and top stitch through all of the seam allowance. And now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So the top, make sure your pocket's on the bottom. Right side up. This goes right side up on top of it. Clip it in place. You can baste this on if you'd like. I'm just going to put the other piece right on top and go for it. Be mindful too if you are using a print that has a direction. You want to make sure that things are going right side up. Or, you know what I mean. Hopefully. Alright, and then again, we're going to fold this up and top stitch. I've got this going on here. Alright, so the rest of the steps are slightly tricky, but once you figure out what you're doing, they are fine. All right, so on the exterior main pieces, you're going to fold these a 1/2 inch in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark 1 inch, about 4.5, 5 inches down the side. Because we're going to be folding this in, but then you kind of have to take some of the clips out and then re-clip them. So I think it's just better if you have this line on here to make sure that you put it back in the same way it was. So I'm just going to clip down a couple of inches. Sorry, I think I had that out of frame. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to do it to both of them. Alright, so, oh, this is going to be so cute. I am so excited. Alright, now we need our side panel pieces. And we're going to fold these down 1 inch, and tape is good for this. Don't tape the other spot, because like I said, you're going to have to take parts of it apart, and the pattern tells you not to do it either. I'm pretty sure. I literally just read it, but okay. Sorry. You can fold these down too, so they're out of the way. Okay. Ugh. Okay. You're going to mark a 1/2 inch from the bottom side on all of these pieces. And you definitely want to do that. The pattern even tells you multiple times to do it, so listen. Alright. Sorry. I think mine has a step in the wrong spot because I think I'm using an old version. It's okay. I got this. Okay, so you're going to take one main panel piece and one of the side pockets, and you're going to clip it together. Okay, and see how this gets like funny there? That's why you have to unclip a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna start a 1/2 inch from the bottom and then 1/8 of an inch at the top. So this is why you really should have that marking there. And then you can fold this back together and clip it. And then we're going to put this piece onto the other exterior piece the same way. Gonna fold this back into place. And then oh, it's looking so cute. It is a new day. It was getting really late when I was working on this and I got confused and I needed to I just needed a break. Anyway, so we're gonna resume. We have these 3 pieces together. Now we're going to attach this side to both of these exteriors. And then once we finish that, we'll do all the same stuff for the lining. We'll put the bottom on too, though. All right. The first portion of this video, I was the only one home too, so I apologize if you hear my kids. I asked them to be quiet, but oh yes. Okay, so starting at the 1/2 inch mark. And you're not going all the way up. You're stopping 1/8 of an inch before you get to the end of that side piece. All right, then I'm going to fold these back over. And then we're going to take this over here, line it up. And then you might have to kind of play with it a little bit to get it. That's not too bad. this back again. Okay, now we can put the bottom on. I'm gonna make a couple of marks because I don't think mine was perfectly done as far as like centering my words, my stabilizer. Ideally, you would have it centered so that you didn't have to stitch through this. Okay. I'm going to clip my centers to make sure I line this up right. The piece with the pocket is going to be, I guess it wasn't too hard to line up. Alright, I'm probably gonna start with the side without the pocket first. So you're gonna kind of like flatten this out, push that in there. Line up your center markings, and you don't have these sewn. That's why the 1/2 inch mark is really important for getting this bottom on here. And your bottom piece should line up with your exterior piece. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the 1/2 inch mark and stop at the 1/2 inch mark and sew this on. And take your time starting to make sure you've got everything lined up. And you can kind of like shift this. Okay, so if you did it right, you won't have sewn onto the sides. You should have stopped like right before that. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm so excited. This glitter with this vinyl. Oh, so good. Alright. And then I'm gonna line up the other long side. And same thing, now that you have this side sewn, you just gotta, you might have to work it under there a little bit more, but it's not bad. And again, make sure that it's lined up the whole way down. in that you start and stop at those 1/2 inch marks. Now we can do the sides, which should just line up so nicely. And then you have the markings on both sides, so you can sew from whichever way is more comfortable for you. I think I'm going to do it this way. I've probably done it like back and forth every time I've made it. Not even sure. But this way you can see your stitches exactly where you started and stopped on the whole bottom. So you want to get as close to your other stitching as you can. So hopefully you can see my stitching lines up, but I didn't go past. So like I kind of have this going on each one. I'm going to, this isn't in the pattern, but I want to try it. Just for some of the bulk, I'm going to take these and just snip the little corners off. Maybe not where my pocket is. Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's sewn on still. I think this will help just a tiny bit with the corner bulk without cutting like too much off though. It's not much, but I'm gonna see. Okay, so we're gonna leave the lining right, so, oh my gosh, so pretty. I'm gonna set this aside for a minute, and then I'm gonna grab my lining main pieces, my lining sides, and then the lining bottom. And just like we made 1/2 inch marks for everything else, we're going to do on the lining as well. Got some zipper bulk. I always tell myself that I'm going to mark these before I sew, and I don't. I think if you did, it would be easier. Okay, I'm also going to make a 1/2 inch mark on the tops for when we sew the lining and the exterior together, just because I really want to try to keep my seam allowance as perfect as possible. Okay, so that side is done. that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and mark on the bottom just in case. Make sure you're marking on the wrong side. It is a lot of marking, but it is so worth it. The top gets folded down 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna mark 1 inch, and that's on the sides. All right. You can open this up if it makes it easier. So I should have marked 1 inch. Okay, I messed up. The top should be marked at 1 inch because you're folding it in at 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna look at that and fold it in. And then I'll adjust it as I need to. The important part is that the lining matches up to the exterior. So it's okay. All right, and then these get folded down. And I'm going to use some tape for that. But only for the top of the sides. So just like we did on the exterior, we're gonna take the sides and install them on the main panels. And the way the pattern pieces are made, you don't have to worry about increasing your seam allowance on your lining. Okay. So, starting at the 1/2 inch and going up to 1/8 of an inch, just like we did on the exterior. And then just repeating that for the other 3 sides. Okay, last time I made this, I twisted my zipper up, which isn't a big problem as long as your end isn't installed, but just being cautious that I keep it straight this time. reason I mark 1/2 inch here is I just want to make sure my seam allowances, you don't have to mark all of those lines, just the ones that the pattern tells you to. Oh, so sorry. Okay. The bottom on just like we did the exterior bottom, and you do not have to leave an opening because the way this bag is birthed is genius. And then again, be cautious of where you're starting and stopping. Do the other side. So now we have our lining done. Last time we trimmed some of the bulk up just on the lining, and I liked it, so you don't have to do this. All right, I'm going to make sure that these are all folded in as they should be. And it's definitely easier if you made the 1-inch marks instead of 1/2 inch, but it is what it is. Okay. Now we need to have our exterior wrong side out, and then we will flip the lining right side out, which is technically wrong for the lining, but it's okay. Okay, now we're gonna put this inside of here. I like my zipper to close to the left. So this is the front. I like to have the zipper here. So here's my zipper opening. I'm going to drop this in here. And you're going to want to tuck the handles in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to line up the tops of the lining in the exterior. And you want to make sure that these match up lengthwise perfectly. So, good. Now those lines I drew on the lining, that's my seam allowance. And it's going to ensure that I do not mess it up. I need to get a new seam allowance plate for my machine. The one I had bought was not a good one, so need a new one. Okay, I smell some delicious smelling food upstairs, and it sounds like they're watching Good Mythical Morning. It's okay. I love sewing. I feel a little bit like I'm missing out. Okay, so now we're just sewing these tops together. This looks kind of crazy with the clips, but you don't want to clip these together yet. And if your clips fall off, you still have time to adjust them. You're good, I promise. Okay. Make sure we are lined up. And this you're going to start and stop 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Repeat on the other side. and then this is where we're going to birth the bag, but it is pretty easy. So you can pull this out, and then see this giant opening? You can use either side, and you're just going to flip the bag that way. It is a little bit weird with the clips and the handles, but nothing you can't handle. I can't remember. I think, okay, if I remember correctly. Okay, this common good. This vinyl is really stiff though. So, oh, as I just yank clips off. Again, you can put them back on. It's okay. Okay, sorry. Had to pause. That food I mentioned made its way down here. It smelled so good. It was tasty. Alright, so you're just going to make sure all the corners for the exterior and the lining are pressed out, and then I'm gonna feel around and make sure I don't have any clips stuck inside of the bag, because a bunch of them did pop off when I was birthing the bag. Okay, so I'm going to start by rolling this seam, and I want my lining to be just below the vinyl. So that from the outside you don't see the lining as much. And then I'm going to do that on this side as well. Okay, the zipper's gonna go in here. And then what you're gonna wanna do is where this lines up, you just wanna make sure that everything is sitting together nicely on all the corners. And you can, I like to take the pocket pieces and have them going in instead of it going out. And if the lining goes in a little everywhere, that's fine. It's actually going to look better. Okay, and then the same thing with this side. If you have any threads sticking out, you can trim them off. Okay. So this is what our bag is going to look like. Oh my gosh, it's cute. Oh. Now we have to top stitch. If you like top stitching from the exterior, you could turn everything wrong side out, but I'm not going to do that. If you are still on your first bobbin, I'm going to suggest checking it. I would maybe be safe, but I'm not going to chance it on a top stitch. So I'm going to change my bobbin. I'm going to stick with a 4.5 for my stitch. Sometimes I switch to like a 5 for a top stitch. And then if you haven't recently changed your needle, it's not a bad time to do that either. I kind of ended up with a thread sticking out here. Okay. So, since my lining sits just inside the exterior, which is how I like it, I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch in on my lining. There's no right spot to start, but I'm gonna go on the back and start like kind of where the handle will cover it. Make sure you fold the handles out of the way. If you don't, actually, you know what? Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll start in the corner, so I'll start stitching here and then I'll end up stopping there. So that should work. Okay. Take your time. So it is a little bit tricky. Something I did last time and I forgot to do this time is before you flip the bag, you can trim these in at an angle a little bit so they don't stick out. I didn't do that, so mine might just a touch. And you are kind of going through a decent number of layers. Actually, okay, I'm gonna switch the camera angle so hopefully you can see this better. Okay, hopefully this is better, and I'll try not to be in it, but I will have to, like, look. Alright, so we're at this corner, and you'll want to make sure your D-rings are folded down as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to use an awl for this as well. Like I said, my vinyl is pretty stiff, which is good. That means it's going to be like really sturdy. I'm not complaining. I love this vinyl. Okay. And when you are at the corners, make sure you're bringing your needle up before you pivot. It might not have been over enough, so I'm cheating there. Like, I might as well check my, okay, they look good. I think maybe if you went the other way around, it might be easier. I don't know, because I like making things difficult. I might have to try that on my next one. I have 2 more cut out. I'm gonna try it. Maybe. I'll probably forget again. I'm just thinking, if you, I don't know. Now I could see it in my head for a minute. I'm not sure. Because the coming down, I think you'd have to do it either way. It probably doesn't matter. If you have a cylinder arm, you could top stitches with that, and I'm jealous. I like how I started and stopped there. I think that was a real good idea. Give this some structure, push everything in. Where's my lighter? There. Okay, Netflix. Alrighty. Oh gosh. It is absolutely adorable. Looks really good. I guess I kind of skipped a stitch there when I adjusted. But honestly, it's the only problem. So you just need to put your zipper end on, but I'm pretty sure my screwdriver is upstairs because my boyfriend had it. But you've got your recessed zipper panel, your slip pocket, your zipper pocket. I love how it kind of is like hidden under there in a way. And then I'll trim that down too. It's a little too long. Okay, so then you have your crossbody strap, and you don't have to put it on there, but I really like the look it gives, so I can't really see myself making this bag without it. Sorry, I think it might have been out of frame. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, this glitter vinyl is releasing on January 15th at moremino.com. Lauren did send it to me to test it. And then this vinyl is also from there. I'm not sure if any is in stock, but I absolutely love this pattern. You can buy it on the same website. If you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. If you have any suggestions for bags you want to see too, I have plans for some, but if there's like requests, I'd love to do them. Anyways, have a great day. Thank you so much.